Right?
Are you gonna be live during an order?
I'm live right now.
That's good.
Oh man, I didn't realize you still had stuff you wanted to say. But I am live right now. I figured, I figured, since I haven't really been, my schedule is so twacked out because of all these unexpected things. I figured I'd come live as opposed to doing zodiac signs today. Was not able to. So I figured I'd come live and we could just Q&A it up. Q&A it up. So how are you guys doing? Is it cold there too? You know what? I don't have a tight schedule. I have a schedule that I just can't seem to keep to. Because all kind of crazy stuff keeps happening. Um, but that's like Mercury retrograde stuff, isn't it? You do that during Pisces season. That's what the F happens. That's what happens. Let's see. Oh, well, hello, Deanna. Pikes Peak. Where is that? Is there a Pikes Peak in Colorado?
Yeah, it's near, like you're going south. Like, past, well, I don't know, Colorado Springs. You see Bikes Peak.
Oh,
Go
okay.
that way.
Okay. Well, um, this morning I did wake up in sub-zero temperature. But I wouldn't know because I slept with the fireplace on and the heater. And I was surrounded by animals and children and lots of pillows. But anyways, so a lot of people are having some weird stuff going on. There's a lot of Mercury retrograde action happening. Yeah, Tiffany is absolutely wiped out, tired, and exhausted. Markers, are you out in Colorado Springs? Is you my neighbor? Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I noticed Texas can have some crazy weather. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
in the upper portion of Texas, Tejas. hmm They can have some pretty crazy weather.
In the Houston area.
Um,
It's like
ooh,
Florida.
you're seeing family members going crazy. Ooh, oh man. Oh, wow, wow. I'm just, hmm. You know, I have been totally going through this thing where, um, I'm just observing people and their behaviors, and especially when those things are not directed at me, I just, hmm, that's interesting. That's my official response. Hmm, that's interesting. I did tell my cousin this morning though she's a freaking hemorrhoid in my ass. I told her that. She called me a pain in her ass, so I told her you're a hemorrhoid in my ass. And she goes, "Wow." I said, "Huh? A balloon knot." Like a balloon knot dangling off my. Okay, girl, took it too far. Sorry guys, I took it too far. Oh man. Uh, so there's a yeah. San Jose does have a lot of cray cray. Um, do you ever feel everything is stagnating this period in time? I do. I do. I myself have become very, I guess you could say, stagnant for all the flurry of activity. Well, I have a flurry of activity every day of my life. But even with that, things are kind of seemingly stagnant. Excuse me, lately. Past, I want to say almost month. when did all of this start? Have we even identified what this is? I don't think we even identified what this is, but something started, um, and it's just been a flurry of what? Seriously, like what? Well, wait, what just happened? Who said that? I'm sorry, what? I've just been confused a lot lately. Um, I'm not really too sure why. I'm not really too sure why. Yeah, Shariza, I'm confused too. Um, and I do see gotta transmute it and let it go, building up to the largest full moon of 2020. There is a buildup that's occurring. I'm not fighting the confusion. I'm just not. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I just don't know. And maybe if you flow with it a little bit more like that, you won't feel as tired. I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes you become exhausted because of mental exhaustion. Like you're trying so hard to think about and wait, you missed the entrance.
I can walk over there.
Oh,
Can't you?
I don't know.
It's fine.
I don't know. Bring your punch card.
Sure thing.
Anyway. But yeah, I think a lot of the exhaustion has to do with mental and emotional exhaustion. You're trying to figure things out. You're trying to make sense. You're trying to create order where there is none. And, you know, sometimes you just got to let yourself be confused. Sometimes you got to let yourself feel disconnected. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to just be like a freaking leaf being blown around by the wind. Instead of trying to rationalize and logically understand why you're being whipped around, just see it as like, wow, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, I love cats and I love leaves and yeah. Let's see. You know, your higher self is doing stuff you're not aware of. So you trust her and you're like, go ahead, girl, just don't dread. Well, sometimes part of, what? I just got a notification. Your wish fulfillment is around the corner. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Oh, God. Um, when have you done something fun for yourselves? Like really relaxing and not worrying. Amen, markers. Amen to that. Something that's relaxing has no real purpose outside of just being enjoyable. Um, Many of us don't do that. Many of us have such a difficult time with just being. We have to attach some kind of purpose to something, some kind of objective, like there needs to be some sort of tangible result. And this is a lesson that I'm learning right now. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. Um, how to cut energetic ties or cords. You don't cut them. You don't cut them because if you cut them, it's no, don't cut them. Yeah, you have to actually remove. I actually teach how to do this in my Kokoro 33 classes. You can find that on my website. Let's see. What's a good way to remember dreams? And do you remember your dreams? Oh, that's beautiful, Tracy. We are human beings, not human doings, not human tryings. Okay, sorry. I'm just, okay. What's a good way to remember dreams, and do you remember your dreams? So one of the best things to do when it comes to trying to remember dreams, either have your phone with like a recording function beside your bed, or a notebook with pen or pencil, whatever. But sometimes what I do if I'm logged into Facebook Messenger, there's a record feature. And I go ahead and just record myself talking about the dream. Secondly, you have to be okay with not remembering the dream. Oftentimes when you remember vividly details of the dream, and then within a few minutes of waking up, those details are gone, you're probably not supposed to remember. Okay. A lot of my dreams I don't remember. And a lot of those dreams are actually not sleeping, and instead I'm going full astral or almost completely astral and doing things that are being compartmentalized away from my conscious mind. I found that for the most part, when that happens to me personally, and to quite a few people actually, I found that when that happens, there's a very high likelihood that the information that you gathered while you were in astral travel mode is probably delicate information. And so your higher self is preventing your conscious mind from retrieving the info. Because let's face it, the human mind can be biohacked. I don't know if you guys have heard of that term, but it can be hacked. And if this is delicate information, obviously your human mind's not going to be allowed to hold on to it, right? So that's kind of just what I've found. Ooh, Tracy says, I don't remember dreams, but I think it's because I'm open to receive from my higher self during waking hours. That's true for me as well. What if you see a deity in your dreams? What does it mean to you? What does that God mean to you? Is it a portion of your consciousness? Is it you handing over your sovereign power to another being? Is it a way for your inner child to express things? It could have so many different meanings, so many different meanings. So you're going to have to really look at the context of which that deity is interacting with you. Ooh, Pisces, fairy dust. It could be something about you needing to finally process these, the feeling that I get a secondary wounding. You know, it could be, hi, Amber. It could be secondary wounding coming up because you've done enough of the work to process and heal the primary wounds. It could be secondary wounding. Yeah, were you alive in the 90s? What was going on in the 90s for you? And that's not something you have to share with us live, but definitely a question you should ask yourself and find the answer to. Like, what was going on in the 90s that you're needing to probably process at this point? How do you lift a curse? You go to someone like me. Here's the thing with curses. Oftentimes with curses, there's really not a curse, okay? It's not that common that you really have a curse on you. And if you come to me and there's not a curse, I will tell you, like, boo, you just, your mind is messing with you. You don't have a curse on you. But the times where it is an actual curse, no, I can help you, but no, don't be messing with stuff on your own, because of the fact that you could really create way more cluster fluffing than is necessary. Okay. And honestly, I see people posting quite a bit, like different, spells and all kind of just crazy ass stuff. Like I saw a post, it was basically like a meme, giving instruction. Hold on, guys. Oh, well, it was giving instruction on how to communicate with the deceased. Okay. Which that in itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but what about in the event that it's not actually your deceased relative that you're talking to? What if it's something that's mimicking? The person who created that, were they thinking about the potentiality of mimics and parasitic circumstance and things like that? So you guys just have to really be careful of whatever it is you participated, you know? Let's see. Hold on. What sign does this universe give us to let us know our manifestation is on the way? Um, what I found is it's primarily just this feeling of like something's coming, and um, you begin to fixate on certain aspects of whatever it is that's coming. Um, for me personally, I start getting signs. When I get that feeling, I have a tendency to just totally be like, no, nothing's coming, nothing's coming. That's just silly. Like constantly, I constantly do that. No, that's just so silly. Come on now. And then next thing you know, I keep getting repetition of the same message over and over, delivered in different ways from different people, different things. It's just constantly reminder, reminder, reminder. Um, let's see. Ooh, nothing is as it seems. Pisces, that sounds very much like you're having a massive ascension cycle, the start of a massive cycle. That's what it sounds like to me. Hold on. Ooh. Hot stuff. Did you ask him to put that on me? I mean, on my cup?
No.
Mm-hmm. Was it a girl that served you?
Yeah.
She's trying to flirt with you. I bet you she put extra. I taste it. She put extra love juju in it. For you, not knowing you're going to give it to me. I'm joking. Y'all don't even know. People be trying. They be so trying with my husband. Smiling, giggling. I'm like, you're wasting your time, boo-boo. You're not paying attention to you. All right, anyways, let's see. 1144, 144, and 141. So with repeating number sequences, it would be a good idea for you to go ahead and Google the phrase angel numbers and then whatever repeating sequence you see. And that will give you a good idea of what those numbers mean and the messages that your higher self is trying to give you. Because what I've found when I see repeating numbers and I don't really know what it means, it's usually because I don't want to know. It's usually because I don't want to know. And so I'll Google that term. And then I'll find out that it's basically addressing the very specific thing, circumstance, person, question, whatever it is that I've been really fixated on for quite some time. So yeah, look it up. I know for me, 1144 has a lot to do with divine guidance back to myself. It's a reminder for me personally to focus a little bit more on myself, give myself a little bit more support in my soul's attempt to grow me, to expand my consciousness, expand my level of awareness, my inner under understanding of self and soul. And then when 144, when I see that number pop up, it has a lot to do with just a reminder. Like usually for me, when I see the number 144 pop up, I'm in the middle of these thoughts of like, why do I have to go live? I don't want to go live. Why do I have to keep talking in front of other people? I don't even want to talk. Why do I have to keep sharing my thoughts? Like, that's just total BS. I don't have to do that. And then I'll see 144, and then it's a reminder, like, there are people that have been waiting for you to get out of your shell and just share of your thoughts, share of yourself, like you promised them you do before you came into this life. And so now you have to remember, it's time to make good on that promise. And regardless of your level of comfort or discomfort, this is what you promised. Calvin Harris. This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. Okay. Okay. Right. Seriously, Tracy. Amen to that. It's not about you. It's about you. All right. Let's see. How do you guard yourself from someone else's energy coming in when you're dreaming? I'll be dreaming and all of a sudden I'll hear music they like. It literally feels like infiltration. Is it someone that has passed or is it someone that's still living? It feels like it's someone that is still living, and you have some, is it someone you were romantic with? It feels like you have a soul connection with them and you're trying to ignore it. And it feels like, oh yes, you know, you can't just walk away from that. Not necessarily that you have to be romantic, but you can't just walk away from that. That's something that's going to continue to tug at you until you finally address it, until you find the courage to allow yourself to face it head on. So, you know, right, a soul tie. Right, Tiffany. Oof. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about that. Mm-hmm. Ooh, wait. All right. What are you guys talking about? What else do you guys want to know? What else would you like to ask? Keep asking questions, please. Did I zoom myself in? I don't want to zoom myself in. Okay. Oh, damn. They walked away. Girl. Anytime that music starts playing, this is not professional advice, okay? This is personal advice from one girlfriend to another. You give them the single finger salute. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't listen to me on topics like that because I'm a sour ass mofo. I'm not one you need to listen to when it comes to topics like that. Let's see. What are ghosts and why haven't they moved on? Well, honestly, I don't know the different definitions people have of terms like ghost, entity, spirit. If you're not in body, you one of those things. I don't care what it is you want to call yourself. But if you're not in body and you still here, you one of those things. Now, why haven't they moved on? That could be so many different reasons. It's not as common as people think, okay? It's really not as common as people think. And what I found, when those who have passed away don't move on, it's not necessarily that they're stuck here, like something is keeping them here. It's not necessarily that they're evil and have been cursed and they're stuck here. It's more of their mindset. Excuse me. If you refuse to let go of the things the human mind fixates on, like conflict you have with other people, your worry as a parent for your children, your attachment to your personal belongings, then you're not going to want to leave that, right? And you're going to refuse to accept that you're no longer in body. So, in the time that I've been doing this work, and I do privately work quite a bit with people who have their loved ones passed on, people who have entities, ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call it, in their homes. A large portion of those clients, the individual they're dealing with still hasn't realized they've died. I'm like, look, boo, you're gonna have to let go. You're just gonna have to let go. They already done sold your car. Your car's not here anymore. Let go. Be born again. Get another car. Be attached to that car in that life. But you can't keep that car in this life. You know? So there was one that was really, really tragic. The husband and wife went to go get, I guess, like late night snacks after dancing or whatever. I don't remember what it was. But they got in a really serious car accident, and they both passed. And the family member or the friend contacted me and was like, they had small children. We just want to make sure they're okay. I guess I don't fully remember why they contacted me, but they were concerned. And I was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And I, using bilocation, because I have the ability to bilocate, I went to their residence, and all the furniture was gone. And I was like, oh shit, this is not good. This is okay. I just took out the Wi-Fi. This is kind of upsetting. She was fairly young at the time, and what happened was she felt very guilty for going out. That night she went out. She really didn't want to leave her kids, and she went out, and then she didn't come back home, and she couldn't let that go. So she was there at the house, and she was waiting for her children to come home. The children never came home. They stayed with their grandparents. And I was like, oh shit, she's not going to let go until you show her children's okay. But the thing was, because of the family's religious beliefs, which she also clung to, because of the religious beliefs, drinking, going out partying, that's a sin, a very serious one. And you're condemned to hell for that. And so that was her fear. She wouldn't see her children again. And then I told the person who contacted me, like, you need to tell her parents to bring her children back home. I mean, not to live there, obviously, because they were going to sell the house. That's why they emptied it out. But I told them, like, she's looking for her kids in their family home. They didn't want to believe me, though, which, it's fine. There's nothing I can do, but that was it. I believe she's actually still stuck there. I believe they sold the home, and she's still stuck there waiting for her kids to come home. All they had to do was suspend their own religious beliefs just for a moment. Bring the children back to the house. Mommy, they're okay. See them at Grandma and Grandpa's house. She would have let go, but they felt that what I was doing was demonic work. That in order for me to see those who have died, that I had to have, had some sort of barter with demonic things. That's up to you. It's not my place, Why do ghosts attach themselves? What's your definition of a ghost? A human being that's already died? Because if your definition of a ghost is a human being that's already died, ghosts do not attach themselves. Parasitic beings attach themselves. That would be a parasite. That would be what I consider a parasite. Religion has labeled demonic. A demon. Yeah. What's a transworld medium?
What?
A transworld medium? I don't know, and not to single you out, Brittany, or make you feel as though I'm addressing you. It just, these are just kind of like thoughts that pop in my head. It's just kind of weird to me that people have to create all these varying levels of labels. I don't know. I don't know what a transworld medium is. Honestly, I don't even think I care to find out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Transworld skateboard?
I don't know. Does it deal with like transsexual type? No, I'm joking. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. what is the best way to reach the clients that need my gifts? That is something that I absolutely will be covering in depth at my soul-based workshop. That one's going to be next month, end of next month. And gosh, y'all have no idea how... Okay, so here's the thing. One of my most developed abilities that I really don't appreciate enough is that, and I figured this out early in life. For whatever reason, my auric shield is always scanning my environment, my auric shield. And whatever coding it scans, it catalogs it. Okay? So, I'm unaware of whatever's being cataloged. I'm just like living my life. La, la, la. Oblivious to everything. I'm not even a shit. I'm fucking oblivious all day, every day. So I'm oblivious to everything, but here's my higher self. This ratchet ass. Categorizing, cataloging, and it's almost like a specific layer of my being has become a living, breathing Akashic Records call. Does that make sense? So if I suddenly become interested, this is what happened to me. I became somewhat interested in photography. And so my soul made it so that I could assist a friend who went to school for photography as his makeup artist. And I don't know how, because he didn't tell me how to do anything. Just being in the presence, I figured out how to do photography. Just being in the presence of someone who was such an avid fan of makeup, I became a makeup artist. And so as I've begun doing this work publicly, so many people have come to me regarding marketing, branding, business management, all kind of different aspects of running your own corporation, and their entire life's wealth of knowledge is archived somewhere on my auric field. And whenever like a situation presents itself business-wise, I just magically know the solution. How did you describe me before, honey? Like the Matrix, where...
Yeah, you know how like they called on the phone. I need to learn how to fly the helicopter. So they give them they download it, and then boom, you know, they'll fly the helicopter straight up.
Yeah. So that's one of my abilities. It just if I know, hell if I. But see, the thing is, my mind still has this program that's running that causes me to question myself all the time. Like, no, that's not how you really do it. And then next thing you know, I have this marketing project that I'm considering. And I'm like, no, that sounds stupid. That can't possibly be how you do that. And then I'll have a friend who's a genius in marketing call me and be like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, oh, shit. I was just thinking about that the other day. Would that really work? And they're like, yeah, where'd you hear about that? And I'm like, I don't know. It just popped in my head. It was just an idea. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to be sharing with those who come to my soul-based business workshop. And this workshop is not just for people who are interested in like energy work and doing readings and tarot cards. And no, this is about using the system. The World Wide Web was a system that basically was created to dumb us down, to cause further separation. It's about hacking into that system and using it to support you, to further your work as a soul. And when you do work to further your soul purpose, the monetary abundance just comes. It just flows. It literally will just flow to you, and you'll be like, holy shit. I've been working a 9 to 5 all these years for nothing. Like, what? Yeah, you guys, like, if I were really to go into the depth of my personal story, literally, in a matter of weeks, with zero money, seed money, I was doing all of this work on an old ass cell phone and free Wi-Fi. We went from living in a parking lot to 6 figures. Okay? Like, I'm not trying to brag. Like, up till this point, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to share any of this, because I don't ever want it to seem like, oh, look at me, look, like, fuck that shit. That's just ugly. But okay, so when I finally began to take this seriously, and I went ahead and applied for an LLC, it was the financial quarter, okay, and zero effort, over 70K. And I didn't realize I in a matter of like 3 months, because I was giving it all away. I only ever really keep what my family needs. I didn't need all that shit, but I sure as hell fed a lot of people. I sure as hell prevented a lot of homelessness. I clothed a lot of children, paid a lot of school tuition. And I didn't realize what I was doing until it came to pay taxes. And I was like, oh shit. How the fuck did any of that happen? Okay? So I figured all of this out. And I'm finally at a point where I'm learning. I can't say that I've mastered it or that I've fully understood the lesson, but I'm learning. I don't have to be ashamed of being capable of becoming financially secure. Does that make sense? I no longer have to be ashamed of that, because there's such a huge program that runs that if you are spiritually inclined, if you have a desire to evolve your soul, that you have to live in poverty. You have to. Because if you don't live in poverty, then you're somehow greedy and selfish and a bad person. You're evil. You're part of the reason the world is suffering. And that's such a lie. They'll try and shame you into continuing your servitude. That's such a lie. What can someone who lives in poverty, willingly lives in poverty, do for other people? Nothing. But perpetuate this lie that you need to live in poverty. Now, if you allow yourself to receive, does that mean you have to hoard that financial wealth? Absolutely not. Yes, you do have to be financially responsible, because IRS is tracking that shit. Okay? Everything I earn is tracked. So there's no hacking the system there. But everything outside of what's necessary for tax liability, for the cost of living, you know how many people you can help? You know how many people you can feed? You know how much hope people who are not ready to accept any other form of abundance, you know how much hope you can give them? Because sometimes, based on people's, I guess you could say, love language, soul language, the only way for them to get the confirmation that they matter is when someone goes out of their way to help them financially. I know it sucks, but sometimes that's just the language they speak. And how can you speak that language with them if you're too busy trying to make sure you stay poor? You just can't. And these are things that have really been huge lessons for me, because I've been the person that's like, money is so evil. Money is the root of evil. I hate money. It keeps trying to come to me. Fuck that bitch. Give that shit away. I don't want your money. Money. Like, ew. Yuck. And then finally something snapped in my head where it's like, you've been who you are. You still remained who you were despite having money. You had all this money run through your hands. Did it change you? No, it just made it easier for you to be who you are without having to worry about where your kids are going to sleep, about worrying how you're going to feed your kids today. That worry was taken away because you allowed yourself to receive. That worry was taken away and you were better able. You are more free to help unrestricted. So shift it. You got to shift it. You got to see money for what it is. It is a physical representation of an energetic currency. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the soul-based business workshop, it's going to help to reprogram your mind. I mean, this is not just a work, it's a retreat workshop, to be honest. Because this is not just going to be me lecturing you, teaching you, giving you pointers, how to do, social media marketing, social media management, how to grow an audience. It's not just that. We're going to be doing energy work on you. We're going to clear the pathways. We're going to reestablish the energetic pathways that run through your cranial space that have prevented you from allowing yourself to receive. These pathways that have been crimped have been cut out of your energetic field to prevent you from allowing the abundance to flow. We're correcting all of that energetically. All of that. This is a whole shebang. A whole shebang. And you don't have to be interested in starting a business that is spiritual based. No. This is about you unplugging yourself from the matrix and allowing the gifts that you've been given, these skills, to serve you and the people you came here promising to assist. So if your skill is painting, then you can apply this for painting. If your gift is walking dogs, you could use this for walking dogs. This is about utilizing your gifts. Gifts are more than just spiritual. Gifts are more than what we limit it to be. Because a lot of us are like, oh, if it's a gift, then it has to be like you're psychic, you have telepathy, you can do energy work. No, a gift is a gift. A gift is a gift, no matter what it is, no matter how it's expressed. This is your gift to humanity. This is your reason for coming into this life, so it can be shared. That aspect of you can be shared, can be experienced by others. It's definitely something profound. It took me a long time to get comfortable with sharing this aspect of myself, because I myself had to go through the lessons that many of you are still very seriously struggling with. This lesson of, if I allow myself to receive, if I allow my monetary abundance to come in, then somehow I'm evil. I'm a part of the problem. You're not. And no, it's crazy. It's crazy what we've allowed ourselves to be programmed into believing is truth. It's crazy. Let's see. It's going to be in California. You can find it on my website, emmieevolving.com. I only have a couple beds left. It's going to be on a private estate in Southern California, surrounded by wineries, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. Yep. The money that you make at your job will allow you to purchase the tools you need to help others. Absolutely. Absolutely. Smarty girl, I never believed it was evil. I will think that's more about greed and control, not money. That was the thing that I couldn't reconcile within myself. That money can do that to people. Because of their struggles with greed, their struggles with control, domination, their lack of personal worth needing to be addressed by financial wealth. I don't have that issue. And so my fear of becoming like people that are struggling with that was unfounded. It was totally unfounded. And many of the people who have this fear, you guys, if you are afraid that this is what money is going to do to you, you're probably one of the many individuals who will never be affected by money in this way. You probably are one of those people. Just like for those of us who are afraid to do energy work, because what if I accidentally hurt someone? Well, what if I do the wrong thing and I hurt somebody? You're going to be the last person ever to hurt someone. And if there was a circumstance where it was a miscalculation, something accidental, I promise you, because you're so worried about never hurting people, you're probably going to be the first person to commit yourself to trying to find a resolution for whatever that circumstance is. Stop being afraid of your greatness. Stop being afraid of your success. We're not afraid of failure. That's the thing. We are not afraid of failure. The truth of it is that fear of failure is this excuse that we hide behind. The truth of what we fear is our actual success. That's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. So for me personally, I was afraid of people being aware of my thoughts, my perceptions on things, because, how am I going to hide if people become aware of me? Well, why do I need to hide? Well, I don't want people paying attention to me. What if I do something wrong? Right? I dug deeper and I realized, because once I begin to really allow myself to be seen, I can no longer hide behind this want to be normal, because I'm not normal. I'm not normal. I'm never going to be normal. This is my normal. I'm different, and that's okay. It doesn't make me any better. It doesn't make me any less. It just makes me different. What is that?
Essential oils.
Essential oils have arrived. Oh, what's that? Oh, can you open it? Did they award it?
No.
Open it, open it, open it. Uh-oh. What's popping tonight? Hold on, guys. Did they award it? Can I have it then? Hold on, guys. Yes.
What does that mean?
Okay. I think this is for the patent for the swords. Boop, 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 boop. Could you put it in there? Sorry. We had gotten some mail. Let's see. Oh, it's more about giving too much and people complain when I stop. Yeah, that's hard too. Over giving. Let's see. So you got into an art show and it causes you anxiety for people to see you. Why do you have anxiety about people seeing you? I have anxiety too when I don't want people to see me. Why do you need to see me? Why do I have to be visible? Couldn't you just read what I have to say? That was my logic before. Pisces, I don't want to be the center of attention, so I guess I worry about standing out and having people perceive me as odd. I know I shouldn't care, but it's the truth. So here's the thing. I read that. I don't want to be the center of attention. I read that and I'm very much reminded of this real fact that the best leaders are often the ones who don't want to lead. They have no desire of being placed on a pedestal. They have no desire of being followed. They just have a desire to live in a peacefully righteous way. And really though, my logic shifted, because then as I grew in my understanding of myself and my journey, I realized, who the hell do I think I am? Who am I to decide for other people who they should and should not follow? Because really, that's what you're doing. When you refuse to allow yourself to be nominated as someone else's leader, which that makes me uncomfortable. Why would you do that? But at the same time, who the fuck am I? Who am I to be trying to tell you, no, you should not be following me? No, you need to follow so, and like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to let people decide for themselves. And just because someone follows you doesn't mean you're elevated. It just means they recognize you've done the work. You've trampled down that long, tall grass in front of you. And it just makes it a little bit easier for them to get further along their path. Does that mean they're going to follow you forever? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It just means right now they're a little bit tired. They're tired of all the confusion in this life. They're tired of being misled into fields that are even more overgrown and harder to figure out. And even for just a little bit, they want to just follow behind you because they recognize you are seeking truth. You are not seeking validation, acknowledgement, some sort of fame. And that's okay. That's okay. You have to be okay with that. I don't follow anyone. I seek guidance from those who may be able to help me elevate. That's okay too. Some people, until they begin their process of remembering their own abilities, their own ableness to carve out their own path, they want to follow behind someone else, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not our place to tell other people that they are traveling the wrong path, that they are doing their own spiritual growth wrong. So if you want to follow behind me for a little, go ahead. But just know that's not a permanent thing. That is not a permanent thing. At some point, even if your goal is to emulate me, at some point you will begin to emulate my sovereignty, my desire, and my decision to live as a sovereign. And you will begin to honor your own sovereignty, and you'll find yourself no longer following me. You'll find yourself walking beside me, sharing your thoughts with no fear, no shame, and walking your own path beside mine. And that's okay too. Everyone has their own process. Let's see. I write, and the ones that know me say I need to share and express myself, but I resist it because of my lack of traditional schooling. Hearing all you said about being able to learn without differently. Well, that Billy, that takes me back to that recent interaction where a troll came on one of my lives and tried to shame me by saying, I need to see your degree, to which I very proudly announced, I have no degree. I have no certifications. I have no degree. I have no initials after my name. The only official title that I claim is mommy. Does that make me any less than anyone else who has a degree? Absolutely not. I don't need a degree. Some people might. That's okay with me. To me personally, a degree is nothing more than an indicator of how well you can regurgitate information. It does nothing to prove how well you can think freely, how well you can think outside of the box. It just shows me how very nice and tidy you can sit within a box determined for you by someone else. So, Billy, regardless of how you've been schooled, doesn't matter. The real question is, how have you lived? Have you lived in a way that has allowed you to truly experience life, to begin really forming your personal thoughts based off your own experiences? Have you allowed yourself to do that? And I was saying, the things that I talk about don't come from someone else's teachings. notice how I don't really quote people. You know, I used to be a huge fan of Jason Silva. Huge fan. I was just like, oh my God. He's so intelligent, it's ridiculous. And then after a while, it was like, no, he's really not that intelligent. He's really not that, I mean, not that he's dumb, but he's really not that intelligent. All he's doing is very beautifully regurgitating the thoughts of other people. And then I stopped watching him. I stopped listening to his stuff because really, I don't want regurgitation. I want experiences. I don't want regurgitation, and that's all he was doing is regurgitating. I mean, it doesn't take away from how beautifully, how eloquent the presentation of other people's words are delivered. He definitely has a gift for delivering these regurgitations, but they're word vomit. He's a beautiful word vomiter. Wow, so I think it made me believe I have no right to lead when I couldn't even see through the toxicity for so long. Baby girl. That hits deep. That hits so deep. It is because of your experience, prolonged exposure to toxicity, that elevates your ability to lead people out of their own. That's why you had to live in such a toxic space, so you could understand the gravity of the depth of the toxicity. And unless you experienced it, unless you lived it firsthand, your ability to assist others who are experiencing something you have never yourself experienced is very limited. Not to take away from those who help others without having first lived that trauma, but the fact that you lived through it, girl, it's the opposite. That's why I tell you, the system we live in is such a convoluted distortion of truth. Oh man. You ask me, what are my qualifications for speaking publicly about traumas, about healing, because I am a traumatized person. And it prepared me. That's all it did. And the places where I broke under the pressure of all of that are the places where my light shines the brightest. I'm just saying, girl. I'm just saying. Who are you to lead? The real question is, who are you to deny the people who are waiting to follow behind you? That is the real question. Who are you to deny all of these people who you suffered for? Who are you to deny them the benefits of your suffering? Isn't that what Jesus did? Isn't that what he did? Right? He suffered for us so that we could learn from his example. That's what we're taught, right? So imagine if Jesus came down and was like, look, y'all motherfuckers, you need to quit talking about me. Keep me out your mouth. That wouldn't be good. This wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a cute look. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So let's see. Marcus, I get carsick. If you need me to do something because that's what you want, you can get the fuck off my live.
Ooh.
Shake your fucking head in private, okay? Not in my motherfucking live stream. Because you don't get to demand from me anything I don't want. And unless I'm freely offering it, you're not gonna take it from me. Gurgle my crystal fucking balls and shine them when you're done. You want my attention? You got it, boo. There you go. Okay. See, Pisces, that's the thing. Pisces fairy dust. You know this live wasn't for you, but you feel like it was for you. See, you're gifting people just by sharing your vulnerability. You're gifting people with so much profound understanding. I couldn't do this by myself. You think any of this would have come out had you not triggered the parts of me that are wounded right there beside you? And that's how you use triggering to empower. I got triggered reading and feeling your pain. That triggered me. That brought me back to the place where I finally had that aha moment and understood the gravity of this path. Like, damn. Wow. Marcus, I don't give a fuck if you have a question. What's this look like? Well, you think I'm 411? I don't want to answer your shit. You be rude to me, I'm gonna be fucking rude to you too. What? Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know that song? The uh-huh song? Mm-hmm. It's people like you, Marcus. You need to learn some humility and shame. You fucking come on here, you're rude, demanding shit, and then you think you're just gonna like what? Ooh, LOL, emoji, W, ouch. Ooh, but I don't give a shit if you have a question. You didn't give a shit how your demands of me were gonna affect me. Now I'm all car sick. Or maybe I'm sick of your attitude. I'm just saying.
Low sodium.
Me, low sodium, or Marcus? I think Marcus been pickle. You a pickle. This is just how the pickle squirts.
Ugh. That's disgusting.
That's disgusting. You want to go shooting before we have to do the stuff that we need to do later? Okay, we not going shooting. I just that like elevated my. I'm all triggered now. I need to shoot things. Yeah, no. Okay, so Marcus, I'm not really mad at you.
Where is he?
No, don't ban him. I'm not really mad at you. I'm just using you as an example because people need to understand. They need to understand it's okay to have an organic reaction to people demanding more of you than what you're willing to give. It's okay for you to feel this way. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to cater to people in their demands. Like, oh no, if I don't speak in a hushed tone and cater to everyone's demands of me, I'm going to lose followers. Well, then, by all means, be gone. Be gone. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me know which... All right. Bye, Marcus.
No, don't ban him. He needs to be able to continue to express himself. He was having a little tantrum of a moment, but he doesn't need to be banned. He wasn't furthering any disrespectfulness. See what I'm saying? I'm not unreasonable. I'm not unreasonable. Aren't you driving?
Yeah, fuck
See,
yeah.
my husband is driving, and he got out his cell phone. He's trying to look for Marcus to ban him. Put your phone down. I'm telling you. If I'm driving, the whole vehicle is protected. If I'm not driving, only my half is protected. You really need to put your phone down.
I can do this shit with my eyes closed.
Anyways, see? You see how that goes? Let's see. Marcus is special. He's special. Yeah, I am tripping off you being in my lane. That's why. That's why. Yeah.
You said too much, bro. Peace.
My king has spoken. My king has spoken. He has determined you have said too much. You are not the father. Yeah, no, he's pushing it for you.
I already blocked.
Hey, you. Oh wait, never mind.
What I'm doing?
I was like, ooh. Anyways, that's right. If you have a question, I happen to see it and I answer it, then I answer it. If I don't, then I don't. If you really need my undivided attention and you need me looking you in the eyes, all Pisces sexy manner, then book a private session. But I don't do those kind of sessions. I'm all hot. Got me all heated. I'm all hot. I'm hot. Can you just...
I can't do anything for you at the moment. There you go.
Hot.
Turn that down.
Can you open the vent?
The vent?
Yes. Instead of recycling this air, I need fresh air.
The air is open.
No, it's not.
Recycled.
I saw.
It's not.
I saw it.
True.
You tripping.
I thought I wasn't arguing with people.
I wasn't arguing with people. I was very passionately expressing my sovereign thoughts. Oh, Marcus. There. Hold on. Hide user on this channel. No, he came with his other account. Are you gonna unblock or not? That was cute. Thank you for letting me know your other account. Anyways, one of the girls at work thought I hated her because I yelled lightly at her for something she knew better about, and I said I love everyone. I love my kids, and I yelled at them too. That's a good one, Rosalie. That's definitely a good one. Let's see. Wait, there was something else that I had read. Thank you, Markers. Thank you. Those who demand attention should realize they are just like all of us, like us all. Ask your question and she'll read it. And to be honest, a lot of the ways that my soul functions, for the most part, what ends up happening, those who have toxicity, levels of toxicity that are detrimental for me personally, that's a big ass nest. That an eagle lives there. Just saying. For those who have levels or types of toxicity that negatively impact me as a person, my higher self blinds me from seeing your comments. Like literally. I don't see your comments. It typically doesn't show up on my screen. If I do see a hint of it and I try and scroll to find it, I won't be able to find it. So that's just, that's just how it is. Because I'm so sensitive to energy that when someone tries to pull from me, my higher self will protect me by not allowing me to even see it. So if you guys have been asking questions for some time and you feel like I'm ignoring you, I'm probably not intentionally ignoring you. There might be some sort of desperate type of energy, and I don't say that in a condescending or derogatory way, but there are people who are very desperate to get clarity, very desperate to get answers. They've been going through something really intense, really profound, suffering, and they're desperate to get relief from that. But if you have a desperate type of energy, my higher self will not allow me to pull that in, because then I'll begin to reflect that, and it really will not benefit everyone if I'm suddenly super off balance and struggling with emotions myself unnecessarily. And so it blocks it. Okay. So let's see. What is the difference between soul and spirit? They're just varying levels of expression of consciousness. It's like one is a more potent, not as condensed version of the other. I don't know if that makes sense. So let's see. Oh, shit. Okay. I see a lot of people who act like you should answer them, like you owe them. Yeah. Some people just don't realize that that behavior is socially unacceptable. And other people just don't care. But, that's just how they are. That's just how they are. Is your workshop something we do one-on-one, or do you send the info? Well, it's an in-person workshop. This workshop, it takes place at an estate in Southern California. And we're going to spend the 3 days together in person. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a wealth of knowledge. In addition to that, you guys get to ask me whatever questions. You can even ask me personalized guidance while we're there. Like what are my personal thoughts on what your plan is? And I'm willing to share it. I mean, they're just my personal thoughts, of course, but I'm willing to share that. We also will be having physical printed information. So you'll have the ability to take notes. You'll have written information that I carefully put together for you to help guide you through things. It's I'm really very thorough. I homeschool my kids, you guys. You should ask my husband the level of thoroughness. It's quite ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous. um, I think sometimes it's also that people are confused and clarity, but don't know where to begin to try and find it anywhere else. Right, Pisces. Michelle, no, the room is provided. The workshop cost includes I think the only shared room has already been completely booked up, but every room is a private room. I think the only beds that are left are king size bed. It's a mansion. It's basically a mansion. It's an estate on several acres surrounded by vineyards. It's a very hidden away gem, and it's food is provided, lodging's provided. You simply have to take care of your travel arrangements to get there. So definitely, it does help to word a question with, yeah, that's right. It helps to word a question with respect in mind when asking. Where am I? I'm in the car. Oh, Justine, um, email me. Email me. Let me see if I can work something out. Oh my gosh, that really touches my heart. I exclusively breastfed my children, and I have quite a few. And up until the past, I want to say, year, I had never ever left them ever for anything ever. Ever. The only time that I spent the night away from my children was to give birth to the next child. So that touches my heart so much. Message me. Contact at emmieevolving.com. Message me and let's see if we can get something situated for you. I'm not an unreasonable person. When something feels right to my soul, when going above and beyond and out of my way for someone or some circumstance is what my heart tells me is right, then I listen to it. I definitely listen to it. But no, I don't just blindly help people at this point, because I've absolutely learned sometimes the help that's being asked for is actually being demanded, and it's not even help, it's a preference. They didn't need the help. They preferred not to have to be able to do it themselves. Yeah. So, learning. We're all learning. Let's see. Nice, Deanna. Nice. And because she says, love that you're doing that workshop. I'm just not to that point yet. Just finally allowing my higher purpose its own place. That's beautifully empowering to recognize that you know what, at some point I will be in a position mentally and emotionally where I can put myself out there more, but right now I still need to take some quiet time to just kind of process my process. That's powerful. That's so powerful. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Justine. Brianna, oh my gosh. Hello, baby 1 and 2. Baby girl and baby. I'm super curious what you're gonna have, girl. I'm super, super curious what you're gonna have. Yep, working on yourself should always be your priority. It should always be your priority. Not just because you are your priority doesn't mean you have to shut everyone else out. But it does mean that your well-being, your peace of mind, your sense of self, your sense of self-worth are more important than trying to prove to someone that you love them by going out of your way for them just to prove it. If you have to prove something to someone else, and I don't know where the hell this is coming from, but one of you probably needs to hear this. If you are being made to feel like in order to prove your love, you have to do something that doesn't really resonate. That's not love, that's manipulation. Learn the difference. Empower yourself. Seriously, learn the difference and empower yourself. Let's see. Okay. I've been trying to work on me for years, but I recently realized I was going about it wrong. How do you feel you were going about it wrong? What was wrong about it? I'm working on moving out of my grandparents' house. It's hard to be myself around my family, so I'm manifesting. That's beautiful, Michelle. I'm sure that'll happen for you. Ah! Smarty girl is a smarty. That's very smart for you to realize that. She says, I was trying to fix what others said was wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, not to even give a hint of an implication that I'm trying to talk badly of my cousin, but there's a lot about me and my development that she doesn't know. She doesn't know. And honestly, I was prepared to do expedites while still in California, because I felt like I didn't want to leave you guys that long, and I know people count on it, and then I was like, but you know what? My relatives are not going to understand this work. It freaks them out, and it's not that she says what I'm doing is wrong. I know she accepts whatever it is that I do, but people are not always at a place where they can just love you with no conditions. And I'm not saying that she can't love me unconditionally. She does. But even with that, I'm mindful of how uncomfortable it must be for someone who's not ready to face spiritual aspects. Because when someone faces aspects of your spirituality, you have to recognize it's going to force them to face aspects of their own, and that's very uncomfortable for many people. So it's not for lack of support, lack of understanding, lack of love. Sometimes people struggle to accept you as you are because it means looking themselves in their own naked truth, and that's scary for a lot of people. It's very, very scary for a lot of people. So let's see. Our relatives may not understand, but our ancestors always root us on. Yeah, they do. They do. They do. And yeah, my relatives all have an idea of what I do, not the extent. Well, you know what? I think I'm lying about that. I think I'm lying to myself about that. My husband blabbed to anyone that asks about this channel. So much for my incognito stuff. So they all have some idea of what it is that I do. No one's ridiculed me. No one's made me feel uncomfortable or anything like that. But I know it's still based off of the religious preferences of my relatives. It's still it's somewhat of a taboo topic. Taboo. And that's okay. That's okay. That doesn't take away or diminish their love or acceptance of me. It really doesn't. So let's see. Right? Not everyone can wrap their heads around it. It's true. It's true. See, my husband's super duper supportive. Super duper supportive. And, he doesn't meditate. He doesn't do any of that stuff.
No, we don't.
No. I don't try and force it on him. There's a lot of couples that have come to me, and a lot of their major serious relationship problems stem from one being more spiritually, energetically aware than the other. And the problem doesn't stem from the fact that one of the people in the couple is not as evolved. The problem comes from when the one that is evolved is trying to force the unevolved one to be on the same page as them. And that a show of evolution?
No.
Or is that a show of an attempting to dominate and violate someone's sovereignty? If they don't agree with you and they still want to be with you, what level of love is that? What level of love is that? How deep does that love have to be for you to be like, you talking about some crazy shit, but you're the only person I want to be with?
Exactly.
Right? I'm crazier than a motherfucker, but you're like...
You're not that crazy.
Dude, I
love the craziness.
Yeah. He loves my cray-cray. Yeah. Even when I tell him, I'm going to call the demons to curse you because I hate you, right? No, have I ever said that to you? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no. No. Not even at my most angry.
But just...
What?
No. Just being upset.
Yeah.
I still love your presence. She
I
can be
love
mad
you.
at me all she wants, but I'll still sit next to her sniffing her.
Yeah, no, I get really mad at him, and then he's like, you're hungry. I'm gonna cook something. What do you want to eat? You want to buy something instead? I'm like, I hate you right now. Stop talking to me. And he's just like, yeah. When was the last time you ate? It's not because I'm hungry. You're pissing me off. He goes, no, you're hungry. Your blood sugar's probably too low. I'm like, this motherfucker.
Which is true.
Anyways. All right, guys. We're at our destination. We gotta go. It's a chance to experience and learn from each other and or appreciate, love, and accept the way they are as they are. Yes, it really is. My husband and I, we are polar opposites. Yes. Literally polar opposites for everything. And I swear to God, he is probably the greatest teacher I've ever had in this life. He's helped me learn quite a bit. If it wasn't for the fact that we were so polar opposite, I don't think I would have been able to learn as much as I've been gifted with learning from him. So you guys, like he says, are you trying to date yourself? You don't even like yourself half the time. Right. Why you gotta be so honest? Why you gotta be so honest? All right, guys. Bye.